Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and here for another Quick Bite. And by the way, you can go get any of our Quick Bites. Go to www.blindabilities.com, tap on the category iPhone101/QuickByte. You can get all the Quick Bites and iPhone 101 demonstrations right there. We also got a link right in the show notes. Just one click, boom, there you go. Punctuation. When you're listening to voiceover, it's very helpful when someone puts in a comma, a period, exclamation mark, because then voiceover takes a breath. It reads it like you would read a document. That's how it should be. But when you're listening back, do you want to hear everything? Question mark. Do you want every punctuation to be spoken? Question mark. Just like that? Nah, not all the time. But say you're proofreading a paper, a document for college or high school, or for STEM projects like math, science, engineering, and technology. Maybe you want to know where every period, every comma, every semicolon is located, just to be sure. Well, you can set your punctuation setting to all, or typically, most of us have it set for some, like when you want to hear the percentage sign or a degree sign when you're checking the temperature. Or maybe you want to hear none, as in no punctuation. So be it. The choice is yours. And one more thing, you can customize these groups. That's what they call them. All, some, none. They're system groups in the punctuation section. You can customize them. So say you like a lot of them. Say you really like all, but not all of the all. You know what I mean? So you might want to remove a few. Not have it speak these common ones like periods and commas. But maybe you just like some, but you want a few more. Or then you can add a few more. Or maybe you like none, but you want one or two. 3, 4, whatever you want to do. You can customize it. And if you want the number sign to say pound or the pound sign to say number sign, you can do that too. What about an X? Or do you want it to say times, such as in math? Or hyphen or minus. You can do that too. Yeah, you can do a lot. We're going to talk about that in this demonstration. So here's the demo. Hope you enjoy. Let's do a single finger double tap on settings.
Settings.
And swipe on down to accessibility.
Accessibility button.
And then into voiceover.
Voiceover on button.
I know it says on, but we'll just do a single finger double tap and we'll enter the voiceover settings.
Voiceover on.
Now we'll swipe on down to verbosity.
Verbosity button.
And there we'll do a single finger double tap.
Punctuation button.
And how sweet. We land right on punctuation. Single finger double tap. And we land directly on active punctuation group. Some.
Active punctuation group. Some button.
Now yours might say all or none, but mine says some because I am set up for the group some. And now by swiping to the right, you can go through the 3 groups.
System groups. Heading. All button. Some button. None button.
And those are your choices. So let's go up to the one I chose. Let's go up to the top. Active punctuation group.
Active punctuation group. Some button.
Single finger double tap.
System groups. Heading.
And this is where you can change which system group you want to utilize for punctuation.
All. Selected. Some. None.
And since I'm set on some, let's check my battery level.
27% battery power. Not charging. Status bar item.
There's the percentage sign. Perfect. Now I'll go back down to the list.
System groups. Heading.
Swipe through them.
All. Selected. Some. None.
And single finger double tap on none.
Selected. None.
Now let's go back up to the status bar and touch the battery level.
27 battery power. Not charging. Status bar item.
Note, voiceover did not read the percentage sign.
27 battery power. Not charging.
So I'm going to go check out the time.
11:47 a.m. Status bar item.
Sounds right. Now let's go down and select all.
All. Selected. All.
We'll go up to the status bar and check the time again.
11:47 a.m. Status bar item.
Aha. Notice the colon. I'll play it one more time.
11:48 a.m. Status bar item.
So that gives you a rough idea of the changes, the differences that you can make by selecting all, some, or none.
Selected. All. Some. Selected. Some. 11:48 a.m. Status bar item.
Okay, let's go back. Up to the back button.
Punctuation. Back button.
Single finger double tap.
Active punctuation group. Some button.
So you may like these system groups, but let's say you want to make a little change to one of these system groups. Let's swipe on down past the system groups and into the custom groups.
Custom groups. Heading.
Now keep in mind, if you've never made a custom group before, you won't have a listing below here. Myself, I've made 3 custom groups, and here they are.
Editing papers. 2 replacements. Button. Math. 4 replacements. Button. Science. 2 replacements. Button.
I do like how it tells me how many replacements I have made to each particular group, and you'll see that later on here. So let's swipe one more time to the right.
Add punctuation group button.
Single finger double tap.
Alert, initial punctuation group. Choose a punctuation group to base your new group on.
And this is really neat. If you want to base it on this system group all, some, or none, you have a great starting point. So let's swipe through these.
All button. Some button. None button.
Another really neat thing here is you can base your new custom group off of a previously made custom group. So like science and math or chemistry, they may be similar and share a lot of changes that you previously made, so it might be a good starting point. I'll keep swiping left to right.
Editing papers button. Math button. Science button.
So when you're forming your own custom group, you can base it off any one of these. Just for an example, I'm going to base mine off the math group. Single finger double tap.
Selected.
And with just a few swipes left to right, I'll be down at the name edit box.
Name, math, text field.
And this is where you'll name your custom group. Now with the swipe to the right,
Based on some.
you can tell that I base this off the system group sum. Now let's swipe to the right,
Custom replacements. Heading.
and this will show the custom replacements that I had previously made.
Number sign. Pound button. Backslash. Divided by button. Dollar button.
And so on. And with the swipe to the right, we land on.
Add replacement button.
This is where you can add a punctuation to this system or custom group, and how VoiceOver will interpret that punctuation symbol. And with the swipe to the right,
Default replacements. Heading.
and this is where you can investigate all the punctuations that are in this system or custom group. So let's go back to add replacement and single finger double tap.
Add replacement button.
And let's swipe down to the punctuation text field.
Punctuation text field.
And here, you will single finger double tap and type in your punctuation. But if you swipe one more time, you can choose a punctuation from a massive chart.
Choose punctuation button.
I find this a little overwhelming, so I just type it in and avoid the massive chart. I mean, some of them punctuation symbols I've never heard of, but that just might be me. You might want to just check it out. Now let's swipe to the right one more time.
Replacement text field.
And this is where you'll type in your replacement. So if you wanted pound sign instead of the number sign, this is where you would put in the pound sign. And by swiping to the right, we'll come to the rules.
Rule. Heading. Ignore. Selected. Replace. Remove.
This is what sets everything in motion, whether you have it set up for replace, ignore, or remove. If you remove it, it's gone off this list. It doesn't do anything. It just goes through whatever it does with punctuations. But if you have it ignore it, that means like it'll ignore the degree sign. Maybe you don't want it to say degrees. You could have that ignore it, similar to the colon sign in telling the time on a clock. Or you could replace, and just like we did with the pound sign or the number sign, it will go through the replacing process. So when it comes across a number sign, it might say pound, but you instructed to do that in the steps just before this. The choice is yours. And having choices is what it's all about. So in the punctuation, you can leave it at the default some, or you can switch it to all, or you can have it switched to none. That's pretty good coverage of everything that you need. But if you are in STEM classes, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or any other specialty class that you may have, and something I suggest is either setting it for all or make your own custom group up for when you want to proof a college paper or a very important document. Checking it down to the last comma, period, colon, semicolon, question mark, slash, backslash, left parenthesis, right parenthesis, close quote, open quote, time sign, or does it just say X? When you gotta know the whole works, the whole 9 yards, let's say, then you might want to create your own special, very special custom group. Options are good, and you are now at the helm of your punctuations.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations
and the
realities of blind abilities.
The realities of blind
abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.